car. You got to get everything done first.
All right. The reason we wanted to have a moving car was because we wanted the realistic chaos in the car with it moving.
I would like to be done with all the moving shots by lunch. Lunch is from 1 to 2, then we come back from after.
Lunch is at 1?
Lunch is at 1.
I think that's going to be tight because this one we want to do a couple times, I think. Because that's really where we get inside his brain.
All right, well,
Biaggi creatively is the one that I have to trust the most because he's so good. He's so talented.
We need to be shooting by 10:15.
Right.
And let me tell you something. Today,
Yeah.
we need to be shooting by 10:15. Getting first shot off has been my biggest battle on this film. Many things are just taking longer than I would like.
Can we say give us 1 more hour after lunch for that? Can you give us to 3?
I just think, as most DPs, it's not his concern how much you can get done in a day. You know, his concern is how good are the shots that you do get.
I'm going to tell you then that where you will be losing your coverage then, you will be boning yourself later on in the day with those kids leaving at 7:30.
This is where it's always a fight between the director and the DP and the production side. They better start making smarter decisions because I'm not afraid to call you up or come and show up in your face and say, look, what were you thinking? How did this ever occur?
Project Greenlight launched a competition for amateur filmmakers. After a lengthy selection process, Pete Jones, a struggling writer from Chicago, was chosen as the winner and given the chance to fulfill his dreams, directing a feature film based on his script. Chris Moore, Ben Affleck, and Matt Damon are producing it. Miramax Films has put up a $1 million budget and will release it in theaters. Now, Pete must direct his movie. This is Project Greenlight.
Seeing everybody out here shooting is good stuff.
Son of a bitch right there, huh?
The camera?
Just the rig.
When you rig a car, you know, to tow, you have to hook it up and make it so that people can sit in it and ride behind it.
Most of the scene is the kid's just in the back of the car playing. He's driving along. It's pretty. You've got the glass with reflecting trees and everything.
The car actually looks like it's driving along, but the actors don't have to drive the car, and you can mount a camera on the truck, and you can actually shoot in the car while it's moving around. Anytime you have additional equipment, it takes, you know, usually double the time the grips and the electrics or the DP tell you it's going to take.
You know, it's just, it's not that I'm unhappy, it's just, we have a lot to do, and it's
a boning that it has to be done so quickly.
yeah, you know, I know it takes time and everything.
This is a period piece, 1976. The shot was framed so that you could see cars, non-period cars, you know, crossing.
Can you find a point where we can clear all these vehicles out of here so that we can do this efficiently? Because I don't want to lose time for that. I don't mean to come down on you, but it's just, let's.
It's not coming down to me. I mean, we all agreed to rig the car here. We agreed this was going to be our staging point. That's what we agreed to in advance. So this is where we planned on doing it.
Well, then let's agree right now to
Okay.
to lose all those vehicles on the left side, starting at the Durango.
That's not going to happen.
Even the construction.
So, we have no streets that are clear.
It's a period film, and we didn't have period cars all over the street, but our financial restrictions were that we couldn't block off all the streets.
I'm to the point where we're going to see what we're going to see, so it's no big deal. I mean, there's nothing I can do about what we're going to see out the window, right?
When they're driving through, we could add a line like, look at all these cars from the future that they parked along the street.
That's funny.
Let me just say this. You're
Yeah.
going to be okay. You're very tense, and I know you're worried.
You're going to add 5 days to the shoot?
We just have to get through this movie, and you're going to be a fucking star. No, just listen to me. I'm just telling you, don't freak out. We have a lot of compromises to make. It's not, this is too early to freak out about it.
That's true. I know what you're saying.
Pete, you're going to be, everybody's going to love you. You're going to be talking about, you're going to see, Pat, can I have your real estate agent in L.A.? I'm telling you, you just relax.
garage to be sitting here for an hour waiting for them to put a rig on the back of a car, right? Is retarded.
Those cars have to go. I thought I told you 8 times. Those cars have to go. Remember? Go, go. They gotta go.
To drive around the city where when you shoot out the window, you're gonna see 1999 cars, makes doubly retarded. Right?
Must be ready in 5 minutes, okay? If I'm waiting on that, I swear to God, I'll be so pissed off.
And everything with cars always takes really a long time.
All right, we're ready to go?
Baby or little baby?
You're gonna have to now really trim the stationary shots in the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone who's in the police car needs to get in the police car. Everyone who needs to get in the process trailer needs to get on the process trailer right now. The baby is not in the car. Please put the baby in the car, ready to shoot.
All right, let's get moving.
What is happening that this car is moving that is necessary? It's not like we needed the car to be moving because somebody's following them. It's not like they're out on the street being chased. They could be pulling in the parking lot of the church having this dialogue. And that would be a controlled environment. This is not controlled. Sure. I learned I really should have tried harder to get here because there are certain decisions that should not have been made, in my opinion. I don't think the process trailer was a good idea.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Please close all the doors.
Being on a process trailer is moronic. You can't control the cars, right? So what happens when that 2000 Mercedes SUV is behind Bonnie Hunt's head when she's giving her line? You're never gonna get a nickel to digitally remove the car from the shot.
Billy, make sure we go fast enough so the cars are a blur. That's good. Now ask for the whole bag. Wait, try to get natural there, pal.
You gotta get the performance, you gotta get the character. So you can't have them shooting just to make sure the background's not in focus.
Look, I agree that it's going to make it more difficult, but he's got to do something. We can't get SUVs in the background.
Do you have any idea what the options are?
I don't know.
Remember, Jeff, you're in charge, right? All these people are relying on you to look out for them, you and Pat. You gotta think about it like that.
Yes, I agree.
So, but if you agree, why am I showing up on set and figuring it out? There's a little bit of fantasy that's been projected by you and Pat and Pete about how much you were gonna be able to control this stuff. You gotta be a little more honest with yourself. I don't think Jeff or Pat stood up enough and said to Pete, I don't think you understand, Pete, right? By choosing to do the process trailer, you've added 6 more variables other than people remembering their lines and the camera working and the light being right.
Hey, I got an out-of-control baby, so can we get going?
No, we can't. We have a safety issue. Stand on.
Oh.
What can we do to focus on the direction, directing, acting, and not moving cars, extras, picture cars?
Is that...
You've been in pre-production with me for how long now? And what have I been saying? I have not been advocating moving the camera, moving the car, putting a crane shot. I've been advocating shooting it simple.
Let's go. Let's get first team in.
What time's lunch?
Chris always has a knack for if things are going to fall apart, it's going to fall apart in his presence.
The caterer is totally MIA. It's a reliable dude. This has never happened before. He does lots of shows.
There's no lunch whatsoever?
It's in their contract that if they work more than 6 hours at a time without a meal break, they get a penalty payment.
This timing is unfathomable.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Fantastic.
I know. But again, it's like I could whittle you a meal. You know, I don't have.
No.
That's what indie filmmaking involves. It involves, you know, shit goes wrong.
We haven't found it. What did Larry say?
All right, but just so you know, a call has already been put in.
Our caterer has been doing movies for years. You know, he's been around for years doing very big shows, much bigger than ours. It was a fluke. It's never happened to me before. Can somebody find out if there's McDonald's or anything around here?
Dude, you can't give him McDonald's for lunch. I'm not going to do that to the group. You're not
Well,
going
I'm giving you an option.
Chris has a knack for keeping people on edge.
It was a bit of a scramble. I felt like that other producers were sort of freaking out a bit, wondering what Chris was going to think about this and that.
I think my exact word was clusterfuck. The other thing, as producer, having one bathroom for the entire crew and cast on the location It's foreplay. So whoever you need to talk to, you should talk to and get some more bathrooms here. It's ridiculous.
You improvise. We're like fucking Marines, you know? You have to improvise. You have to work with what you got.
Oh, God. What was going through my mind was, why did Chris have to be here today?
There was a critical period in there. It was a really, really ugly period of time in there.
I need some answers on this lunch thing. I need answers.
So what are we doing about lunch?
It's on its way.
It's coming.
Other production
Is
manager.
Cater quit or whatever?
No one knows. Even the catering company doesn't know the guy.
It's gonna be here.
Unfortunately, during this period of time, camera short-circuited.
Totally shorted out. I think it's a fuse in the camera.
It's fairly rare that the camera just, you know, these are very precise pieces of equipment, so it's rare that it's just gonna die on you like that.
I don't have interest in the technical aspect this very second. I'm more concerned about no fucking food.
Ladies and gentlemen, since lunch is not here yet, we're gonna do a brief rehearsal.
Can we get a real caterer? I mean, they haven't even arrived, and it's 30 minutes late.
They are a real caterer.
So everybody who's going along, get in your proper places. Thank you.
Couldn't break for lunch. Camera wasn't working. We were in bad shape. Chris Moore just lands in town. So it was ugly.
There was a huge truck rollover on 994, which is a major highway, and they closed down the highway for 2 hours. So I'm sure we weren't the only ones that were disrupted by the crash, and we were not in a life-death situation.
You want to lift, sir?
No, I'm skipping, thanks.
You sure?
Yeah, appreciate it. I'm gonna go grab peanut butter and jelly.
And that day was unusually bad day for production. So, you know, I had a nice fertile ground to come in and rail on people.
Chris Moore is very intimidating.
Chris cares. He's got enormous passion and heart, and he's like the guy. He's like always driving the train up the hill or whatever it is. He's kind of the engine.
He's become incredibly successful because he works hard and because he always does a good job. And so the one thing that really gets on his nerves is somebody not doing a good job. That'll, you know, that will cause him to blow up.
So what the hell happened here, fellas? Am I the only person who looks at it and says that was a fucking disaster? I've had entire stunt crews put together a rig faster than that mount got put together. Then the fact lunch didn't show up, just general things like that. It was not a banner day for the organization of
it wasn't.
Stolen Summer.
No, it wasn't.
It's only lunchtime. Shit's gonna fuck up again, right?
Right.
And what I'm worried about is there doesn't seem to be any system for backups.
I hate to say, I disagree with that. I went to every key as soon as I knew. I talked to the keys, and I talked to them about lunch isn't here yet. You guys cool with working? They're all like, yep. They were all on the same team.
2 days into a production that's already stretched to the max of what is humanly possible for humans to accomplish.
And I'm telling you, I got them like, don't worry, Bruce, it's cool.
And I'm sure they feel that it's cool.
Yeah.
But my job is to say, 2 weeks of don't worry, Bruce, it's cool.
No,
they're gonna burn out on you. And we could have come up with an alternate plan for lunch.
We went out, we grabbed McDonald's, and we had McDonald's standing by.
Then we shouldn't have had the penalties.
But the problem is...
Then we should have had lunch. No, Bruce, there's only 2 answers to this question. If lunch was available, we shouldn't have had any penalties.
I felt like kicking Chris Moore, kicking in the shins several times. Affectionately kicking in the shins, but kicking in the shins nonetheless.
I have a way that I produce movies, and the way that I produce movies take care of people. I need everybody to be accountable because we have 0 margin of error. I'm driving hard right now because I'm really worried, right, that if this continues happening, it will start to affect what's on camera. As I started talking, I was getting more and more worked up, and as these guys started answering me, their answers weren't 100% plausible, in my opinion. This movie, and I'm speaking for Michelle, so if you know something different, you can say so, but I'm sure you don't, which is we're not going to get any relief. We will never
As I've been seeing what's happening here, I can go back to Miramax and say I'm not going to support giving more money because they made choices that they didn't necessarily need to make.
But the fact that we were under the L or doing a process car, period, in my opinion, is a mistake. We may be giving Pete Jones too much credit.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
that
it's-
he sits down and says, I can't make the movie without this shot.
He hasn't said that.
And we don't, well, he must have said it a couple times because you both are sitting here telling me you said the camera car was a bad idea, and somehow there's a camera car out there with
Well-
4 grips working on it. So somebody somewhere better have said, I can't make the movie without this shot, or then I'm gonna be really angry.
The
Then
moving shot.
I
They
will
said
move
they-
into
they
anger.
said,
Pat.
they said the moving shot. They said they had to have that.
Well, then you
the
just
moving
said he
shot.
never said that, so which one is it? In my opinion, in the movie production that I've been watching, right, Pete does stand up and say,
No, I'm
over
not
my
saying
dead
he's not.
body, an awful lot.
Okay. Okay.
I think we got to get a little harder, right? Because our job is to manage the resources for Pete. Pete is not meant to manage the resources and tell us what he wants.
Right.
Nobody stood up and fought him. And so what I'm saying is right now, I think it's time for somebody to say, all right, put yourself in front of the train. You really feel that strongly? Well, I'm saying no. So you can quit. Your parents live in Lake Forest, have a nice time. Or you can come to work tomorrow and shoot the movie because you're one of the luckiest guys on earth and you deserve the chance to shoot the movie. I've worked very, very hard for this to be a reality. And I've worked very, very hard for this to be damn good. And I also represent 2 other guys who put a lot on the line, and I want to do the best we can to get the best for all of us to go out and be proud of.
He was reacting to what he saw and wanted answers for it.
This whole thing is, for me, is very, it's very tough because everything you're talking about is all right. And I take it all personally and to heart. And the whole camera car thing, I said, no, I don't want to do it. And I was talked into it. Partially by Jeff, which, you know,
is my issue.
I have to tell you that Jeff's position is of confusion to me.
Okay.
Because he's constantly second guessing and like into what I'm doing.
That's his job, though. I mean,
I don't know that.
Yeah, his
Okay.
job. He's a producer. He's representing me on the set.
As Chris said, well, he represents me on the set, which is an interesting thing because in terms of, I believe that was part of what he was hiring me for.
I want to tell you, in all honesty, this is Jeff's first time having this much authority.
I know that.
Unfortunately, I'm asking you to find a way to work with Jeff. Because
And I am.
if I spend the
Listen,
time,
I do get along with him. It's not that. But on some times where I do know better.
Yeah. You got to step up.
Yeah.
You got to step up. Jeff, I actually trust more than I would Pat on creative stuff. On the flip side, Pat, in a lot of ways, is the great foil for Jeff. Pat's worked on a million movies and can talk about, you know, what the budgetary problems are, what the issues are, that kind of stuff. Jeff can't.
You guys notice how I conveniently gave you time at lunch to...
Wait, you left us there to take your bullets.
That's right.
How do you feel about that?
How about this?
Guess who? I got a couple riddled right here.
How about this? I left you guys there so you could deflect to me.
We didn't do that. There is, we're gonna
Let's burn out after.
What? We're gonna move the beach.
To a pool.
I'm not gonna move the beach.
We're gonna have to.
Where do you move the... You mean move to a different beach?
Yeah, gotta move to a different beach.
I believe I once said over my dead body and lost that battle.
Wait, okay, we should have this conversation after he talks to Chris.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can I
I've
ask you a question?
Yeah.
Can I say something just for your own advice?
Don't fight it.
Come with a new phrase.
Over my dead body. And I'm gonna lose that one a lot.
I got one. How about over my bent over body? How do you like that one? Because that's appropriate.
Here we go then. Let's roll sound, please.
We're rolling! Quiet, please!
Camera's ready.
On speed.
Action!
I can't believe he threw me out at the third lesson.
Good! Yeah, that was good for me.
Good for you, sir.
Hey, good job on the pulling.
Good.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Going again. Action! Action!
Action.
Ready my ham and cheese sandwich.
Cut.
That's a cut. Happy, guys?
Steaming. I think we got this.
I did too.
Good gate.
Okay, gate's good.
This was perfect.
It was a long day. We shot everything we had to shoot that day that we had planned.
Great job on that.
We were finishing about 2 hours early. It was like 5:30. We had to be out of there at 7:30. That's when we lost the kids, and we had the crew until 7:30. I had said to Jeff Bayless and Pat Peach the day before that it's just going to drive me crazy if you guys finish early.
you should be shooting stuff.
We can get the kid running for the ball.
Do we have a kid here?
We've got the kid, and we've got the costume. All it is a kid running for a shot. We'll throw the picture cards there. We've got 2.5 hours. Why not? We had come up with the idea to shoot a shot from another scene.
So I'm like, yeah, let's get another shot. So we change the wardrobe on the kid, and we go out and do the shot for him to catch the ball.
Does the kid have any other mitts you could see?
I assumed everything was as scheduled. We're on a basketball. Shoot around. The problem for me was my attention span is my worst nightmare, which is I went over and was shooting baskets.
Are you falling down? Falling down.
Biaggi, you just roll it.
And then I walked back up there because I heard in my headset, I heard people saying, okay, we're getting ready to roll. And I looked up and I'm like, what is going on?
What is that? It's a real nice shot.
Instead of taking something off the list that had to be shot the next time we were on the baseball field, they started looking at, well, what else could we shoot while we're here?
They spun the camera around and started shooting 2 kids throwing the ball across.
You just let them steal stuff, Peach?
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't realize
The catch shot?
I didn't know.
So what, the DP and the director are now stealing shots?
I think so.
That's bad. Where's Bruce?
The nature of independent filmmaking is sort of guerrilla filmmaking, be able to do it quickly and on the fly.
They should communicate with somebody. You know, Pete and Pete aren't alone in the world to make decisions about what that whole company is working on.
So when you saw them not getting the shot, why not jump up and down? Why not, what's going on? Why aren't we shooting it? I didn't feel that the few minutes that it was taking to get that shot, given the amount of time that we had left, was going to be a significant problem.
It literally took 3 minutes, so.
He said it was 15 minutes.
He's lying. Chris Moore, he had very strong opinions about the way things should be done. Just so you know, that edge out there did only take about 3 minutes.
That's not true. I started counting from the second you stopped from moving over here.
That took 3 minutes to get that up.
It took 3 minutes to roll film. Yeah, but the stop of everybody from moving over here, the clearing the background of everybody.
But we're still waiting for, because I want to get kids in Padre uniform. So we're waiting for that anyway.
So my point is, even if it was only 20 minutes, right? The sun's setting, right? That's 20 minutes of mind time for Pete Jones that isn't being spent on the shot that we could actually use in the movie.
He's going to catch it? He's going to jump up like this?
That was bullshit, fellas. I'm throwing bullshit on that. Stealing shit and not telling anybody's bullshit. There's producers here, we're on set, we're in a big rush, we're trying to get some free shit, and just rolling film while we're out standing around is bullshit.
Okay, so Biaggi,
okay.
The next time that you're gonna roll film, you gotta let me know on that out there.
I walked right out there and just yelled at him, right in front of everybody. And that, you know, was a conscious choice on my part because to some extent I wanted everybody else to see that he's not untouchable and that Biaggi's not untouchable and that, you know, if they keep fucking around, you know, things will happen. You could have come and talked to somebody. Pat Pete said he never heard about it. Jeff Bayless never heard about it. I never heard about it. I'm standing over there going, why isn't anybody coming over here to right field?
No,
and nobody's moving over here to right field.
It's my fault. I didn't know that I had to clear that shot with you. All of a sudden he said, come on over. He goes, look at this. I go, that's a nice shot. It'll give us some breathing room.
Right, but so then you're risking this shot. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Well, you know, this shot we're going to have trouble getting if we don't get
that's
this kid.
Exactly why I'm making an issue right now. Right. Is because I know that you and Biaggi don't want to do this shot.
No, he wasn't completely wrong. Mentally, we weren't prepared for that shot.
If you don't want to do it, don't sabotage it. Just say no. Just say, I'm not going to do it. And we can have the argument about that. So you just admitted it, right there. You said, this shot, I'm not sure, it might not match, we're not going to be able to do it. So you sacrificed over there, and right here you just made up an excuse about other kids in Padres.
I am not purposely trying to ruin this shot. I want to get this shot.
There's been a whole thing since Jeff came up with the idea of shooting an extra shot today, right?
Right.
There's been a whole slowdown of activity.
Yes.
There's been a let's pick up some shit over here, let's redo that, and let's come over here. All I'm asking is, don't sandbag it.
I'm not
if you don't
sandbagging.
want to do this shot, just say, I don't want to do it.
I'm doing the shot. I'm not sandbagging.
Okay.
And I almost popped him in the face with that comment. You know, sandbagging it is a direct, you know, that's a shot on my character, which is different than a shot as me as director.
All right, let's not worry about the other Padres. Let's just get the shot. He catches it and he runs.
He's gonna catch it and run out of frame.
Right.
And celebrate like everybody does. This is where you learn about a director, is how passive aggressive are they, right? And I think Pete Jones is right on the edge.
Quicker. Action.
I'm not sure whether he's passive aggressive at all, but there's moments in time where I feel like he looks at you and he listens and he says he's not going to do anything, and then it happens, right? And I can't say that, you know, if that continues happening over time, that's not going to cause a real problem between the two of us.
But I'm directing the film, and people need to know that I've got a vision for it. Help me with the vision, but, you know, let's remember, it was me sitting on that computer at 3 in the morning in my underwear writing this story.
All right, let's do it again. Hey.
I think it's going to be the next 22 days are going to be incredibly difficult. Each day, it's, you know, every single day is its own unbelievable challenge, and each day is going to be a nail biter at some, you know, in some degree. I won't be able to rest easy till we're done.
Action.